Hi friends, I am speaking to you from Mangalore, India. In India we have 2% of the people who are Christians. Britishers ruled India for about 400 years, and during British rule and earlier when Portuguese came to India, they brought Christianity to India, and therefore we have 2% of the people of India as Christians. Mangalore is called as Rome of the East because there are majority of people who are Christians in Mangalore, and on the west coast of India most of the Christians live. That is from Karwar to Kanyakumari. There are some Christians in cities like Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, Bangalore and such other places. But predominantly Mangalore diocese is a highly Christianized area. Now when Britishers were ruling India, Britishers had obliged Christians and given lot of lands for the sake of the poor Christians. The clergy was made trustees of these lands, and they were described as landlords. That word landlord was a misnomer because they had not purchased any property. The property was given by, the lands were given by the government or some philanthropists. Even some Indian kings have given these lands for the benefit of the poor Christians. The ultimate beneficiaries in these alienation of lands was supposed to be the common man. But things have changed in India. The clergy has become greedy. They have joined hands with land mafia, and they are trying to evict people who have been occupying lands for so many generations over the last 300 to 400 years. We have churches in Goa, Bombay as old as 300 to 400 years. These lands, especially in Mangalore, were given to the people on perpetual lease basis. This is a very funny act which makes the landlord helpless in the sense he cannot evict the tenant as long as he pays the rent. And that perpetual lease, that is known as rent for the land, perpetual lease, if it was 100 rupees for an acre 100 years back, there is no right for the landlord to increase this rent, even if the family of the beneficiary, the family of the original tenant, continues to live on this land even for 10,000 years or more. The land, the money value will change, but there is no liberty for the landlord to increase this rent even by a penny. So the arrangement of lease is only to retain the land with Christians. That was the only intention. There was no intention to make money or treat this as a business. The lands were given to the people for staying, cultivating, because Indians and Christians were basically agriculturists. So the land was given for them to not only stay there, but to produce minimum requirement for their livelihood and live happily. But now the things have changed. The so-called landlord title given to the clergy, the bishop, is being misused. Evictions are being tried. And seeing the situation, government of Karnataka passed a legislation 2 years back in 2010 abolishing this so-called Mulgeni Act, Mulgeni law. that is the law of perpetual lease. This act is giving freehold ownership rights to the occupier. India is a democracy, a secular democracy, which has adopted socialistic pattern of society. The rich man is taxed, the landlord is made to pass on the land to the occupier or the tiller, so that social equality takes place and everybody gets a small piece of land to live. The days of royalty, kings, big landlordism is gone. We are more and more a democratic and a socialistic country, and we are trying to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. There are temples in India, lot of Hindu temples. They too have lands given by the Britishers and their own philanthropies. They have alienated their rights and given the lands to the occupiers at a very nominal rate, though they do not have any right to deal with these lands. All those who have occupied these Mulgeni lands or perpetual lease lands have paid the cost of the land existing when they took charge of the land. No more money should be collected, and collection of money, goodwill or cost of the land, additional cost of the land is not only illegal, it is highly unethical and immoral. But our bishops in South Canara, in Bangalore, they are demanding 33.33% of the value of the market value of the land as goodwill amount. But they will not mention this as a goodwill amount. The receipt given is only a donation receipt. They say they have received so much of donation. There is no connection between the land deal and this receipt. This is cheating. This is most unfair, most unethical thing done by the clergy. We are against this. We are going to agitate. Government of Karnataka has passed this bill, and the clergy and a few landlords, Christian landlords, have joined hands and formed an association, and they are lobbying at the central level, at the president's level, at the prime minister's level, not to get approval of this bill. The things are hotting up. People may come down to the streets. The governor of Karnataka should have approved this bill and cancelled the Mulgeni law, but he has forwarded this bill to the President of India, and we expect that the President signs this bill. We would like all socialistic minded people, all human beings, all our friends all over the world who believe in human rights, right of a man to occupy a small land during his lifetime. Those who believe in this right, India is a large country with a large landed properties, and it is possible to give a small piece of land for every Indian. So we need support from all over the country, all well-wishers and right-thinking people. We request them to appeal to our President to pass this bill so that there is socialism, there is equality in India. Even in spite of being a democratic, socialistic country, there are unscrupulous businessmen and politicians who have amassed wealth, and most of them live like capitalists. Though theoretically capitalism does not exist in India, India is following capitalistic policies. We need the support of all the poor people of the world to fight against this menace, especially when it comes to the religious institutions. They are not supposed to make business out of land. They are not supposed to buy or sell land for commercial purposes. Today in Bangalore, lot of land worth 200 crores has been alienated, sold by the clergy of Bangalore, and the money has disappeared. In Bangalore, the clergy, the bishop, is leasing out lands for malls and other commercial complexes to come up. Some of us who are fighting for the least and the last, the poorest of poor, are against this, and we are agitating. Associations have been formed to fight against this menace. We want the bishop to put up flats in cities like Bangalore, and give it to the poor Christians at cost. That means at no loss, no profit. Wherever, even people, if they cannot afford to pay, it should be given free, because there is enough and more money already collected by the clergy, and this money is being misused. No piece of land should be sold out at all for commercial purposes. The agreements, the donation deeds clearly specify that these lands are to be distributed among the laity, the poor laity, and so that the standard of life goes up and the poverty is wiped out. This is the intention. But the greedy clergy is not transparent at all. No books of accounts are shown. Everything is hidden. And because they talk about God, heaven and hell, people have fear complex. People fear to oppose the priests, and they are taking advantage of the situation. Some of us who are educated and enlightened, we are trying to create awareness amongst the people that clergy should look after only religious things, and the temporal things of the church, the properties, the money part of it, anything connected with the worldly things should be left in the hands of the laity. It's okay. Let there be joint management. Let priests continue to be our auditors so that layman does not cheat. After all, laymen are also not saints. Clergy, they are also not saints. There are checks and balances required. Therefore, let all temporal things, lands, properties, come in the hands of the laity, but let it be audited and inspected by the clergy. So therefore, friends, I appeal to the people of the world to support this movement that is going on in India, that is to allot the land to the tiller, allot the land to the occupier, to the poor man. Rich man doesn't need their charity. The rich people who have become rich amongst Christians, they already bought the land by paying 33% to the bishop. So they are happy, bishop is happy, but no more. Those who are not able to pay this money, they should be given this land that they occupy free of cost. Friends, therefore, please help us and kindly sign our appeal to the President, which appears on change.org. Okay, no? Let's hear.